Hi everybody, it's at Romanda Renee for Bolt Journaling channel and Bolt Journal on Facebook. It is Thursday, our first Thursday workshop of 2019. I'm premiering my Groucho glasses and I love them. And I may or may not have been influenced by a lot of my classmates from school who had them already. Anyways, we're in the workshop this week talking about a self-care map and core values. Now, I know most of us are used to writing some kind of mission statement or a vision statement for the beginning of the year, or doing a vision board. Maybe even you have some kind of statement about your core values on your resume. But hopefully there's room to grow. I'd like to suggest the possibility for us that there's a way to invite greater embodiment of those values if we take them personally. Like, there may be other things in your personal life, like maybe joy needs to show up more personally, and that's not necessarily on your resume, but that's totally something that could go on your values map or your values board or whatever you want to call it. So here's mine. This is my self-care map. Sorry about the glare. So here's my self-care map. You can see pictures of it on Bolt Journal Facebook page. All the links are here on the YouTube channel for all the social media. You can follow us almost everywhere. Some of the things I don't even know what they are, so I don't know. So it's multi-directional. And I did it to where you can kind of tilt your head and see everything. You can do it to where it's right side up. You could do it long ways to make everything fit a certain way. I just did it this way because that's how my notebook is oriented. So what I started with was sort of 4 components of being, like like a self-care map that you would learn how to do if you were in an expressive therapies program. So whatever you want to call it, mind, body, and then you want to spirituality, spirit, heart, which would be the emotions, however you want to break it up into the modes of being. One of yours could even be transcendence and not even talk about something else, whatever vocabulary, but just to have 4 quadrants in your paper helps break it down so you don't have a whole big blank page where you're just brain dumping like, self-care, I wish I could get a massage sometimes, and you can. So what I do with mine is I have the 4 quadrants, and then I pull up to the areas where I feel like they might overlap to create my list of things for how to support myself in that area. For example, mind and spirit, I sort of pulled towards inspiration, and then heart and body, I pulled towards something I called celebration. So I just named them in ways that I felt like just one word that sort of shows up, that's your heart and your mind, or that's this or that and the other. There's other ways of doing it, and you don't have to pull the 2 areas together. You could just have 4 quadrants and not show any overlap. Sorry, things are falling off my desk. But it is also possible to do a setup where maybe you're naming that overlap. So like here for this custom order that I'm working on, we've got mind body, which comes together in the soma, because we know that's the mind of the body and the body's part of mindfulness. So I just decided to name that soma. Just like down here, we've got heart and spirit, which would be your emotions, your spiritual aspect. And I named that nefesh, which is the root word for being a speaking spirit, being an alive being. Those are the 2 factors where we're different from beings in the animal kingdom. Make sense? I didn't say animals aren't people. I said nefesh is why we're different than animals. So don't get mad. So on and so forth. And then body, spirit, the spirit of the body's part of spirituality. I pulled that into a thing that I called soul. So it's whatever you want to name it. This is for someone else. So I went and put the blank spaces 1, 2, 3, 4 of what do I need to support myself. And then I put my names of the different things, celebration, inspiration, etc., in the corners to express sort of how that area would show up in a state of thriving or in a state of overflow. Make sense? So 1, 2, 3, 4, what do I need for mind, body? Me personally. Let's use me as the example. So I actually did it differently. I did the other person's layout differently, and your areas may end up showing up differently how your quadrants overlap too. And that's fine because it's yours. Hashtag death to planner shame. So heart body, what do I need for my heart body? What do I need to manifest a spirit of celebration, for example? So for the heart, I put two things that I needed or that I know feed that area of my life. And by heart, I mean integrity, emotions, intentions, internal life, etc. And I put grounding and centering, which is still the same. It can change. Your needs can change. Your areas of growth, we change as people, and that's great and healthy. So don't get upset if it shows up different next time. And then body, the two things I put from body were daily movement and consistent practice. And those are two different things, because consistent practice could mean consistent practice of using my meal plan, consistent practice of meditation, just consistent practice of being in my body. And so those two things for each thing, those two needs for each quadrant show up as a list of 4 for that overlap area, right? Because I'm trying to use the rule of 2 and keep it simple. KISS, you can fill in the other S for yourself. So that's how we get the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would actually, I could have color coded it better and used the mint green for 1 and 2, and then used the pink for 3 and 4 to show that that's where it comes from. But you don't have to be that precise. You could just come up with 4 things just pop in your head when you think about your soma. Go for it. That's fantastic. And then one of the last things I put is being with for each of the quadrant areas. Things are falling down. Oh, sorry, that was a bookmark. Being with, what environment or person you might feel that if you're with them, that is where is the most effective for you to express that quality. You can use different words than inspiration, restoration, celebration, declaration. You can steal my words. You can roll the dice. You can make up words. It's whatever. But where does @Ramanda Renee best be able to have those things supporting her to express inspiration? I put being with nature. You see that that's the teal color that I coded it that way. And then restoration, where do I best be able to manifest and express restoration, is blue, that cobalt blue, which is being with God, and that got coded towards that. Now, earlier when I did an overview just of design and style in season 1, I kind of ran by being with, and this feeds into that. And some people were like, wait, how does it, wait, what, pause. So being with, I put self for the body quadrant, family for the heart quadrant, nature for the mind quadrant, and God for the spirit quadrant, which really looks simple until you go, oh, this is an open triangle. Because part of when I experience being with nature naturally tends to funnel into an experience where I be with the Lord. Or whenever I be with family and then might retreat a little bit or have alone time afterwards, naturally feeds into my experience of being with self. That's just something that I've noticed because I've been doing the self-care map for like 2 years now since I first learned the basic 4 part of it, and I've added and added and added. So I might be getting to the point where I'm going to start trimming and trimming and trimming, but I've noticed the being withs sort of cycle around. And I feel like that's a healthy circulation in the modes of being. So that's my self-care map. This does not tell me to do things necessarily. It says, like, for my mind quadrant and inspiration, I need creative input, and I need to feed my curiosity. That doesn't tell me I have to sit here and scroll through my Instagram for so many minutes a day. That's just something that happens naturally. But if I feel low in that area and I start noticing, hey, I'm really not feeling it, what's up with me not being as creative as I know I am? I can go over here and go, oh, I need this. Maybe I should come back to this. Maybe I should do more here. Maybe I should support myself better here, is a better way of saying it. So there's that. This is my values page, which I did cover design-wise in season 1. I love these whales. This is a postcard from the Ocean Conservation Society or something that I gave to like once. and they're so awesome. They sent me a Valentine that year, and I've kept it for 4 years. It's had pins in it. It's been on the fridge. It's been taped places. I love these whales. That's my spirit animal, and I think I talk about it a little more on season 1, but I made a pun. I said whale goodness me. And still focusing on whale values. It's still the same list from before, but I just feel like playing with the same color scheme as here, pulling some of the same kind of I don't know what you would call this color scheme, but we've got pink and fuchsia, we've got blue and light blue, mint and turquoise, pulling through that this being a healthy cycle is how I feed these things, and not necessarily color coding it or aligning in it any kind of way, but just knowing that I'm going for being at peace, being free to risk, being resilient, etc. That these should be the fruits of here, and that the flow is where I can find the delight to pursue the discipline of, right? I'm not just going to be like, I have to have more freedom to risk, so I need to do da-da-da-da-da. So silly. No, the delight of being in here and things thriving are going to result in the fruit of, I can just risk because I'm safe, because I'm loved, because I'm held, because I'm blessed to be a blessing, because. So, that's my self-care map and my core values page. It's right there in the front of my #Bolt Journal. I hope you guys find that helpful. If you want a picture of the layout, if you want help doing it, just comment below and I'll get with you. And I really, really, really hope that that can be an inspiration page for you to go back to in frustrating moments. Maybe something's wrong with your schedule or there's a situation or whatever, but you can just flip back to that page and be like, this is who I am and this is what I do to support me being that best self. So this is @RamandaRenee for the Bolt Journal saying #Death to Planner Shame. I'll see you in the workshop. Bye guys.